What's up? It's Marco Sages Soccer. Today I'm going to talk about the U.S. men's national team 1-1 draw with the Elements. And also that team in blue. Man, this was the worst night for us to wear white anyway. But yeah, it's tough to gauge the performance. The conditions were just so terrible that... And I can't imagine we even get rain in Qatar, so it's not even like, we can gauge how we're going to play in terrible conditions. No, it's just kind of a wash. It really sucks that we pushed back evaluating players like Haji Wright until this game, but it is what it is. I should say that we woke up against a team like Wales could end up playing like Brexit ball. We could have Iran play defensively. We're still not sure how they'll really set up tactically. So playing these types of games, it is important, and I really didn't like the lack of urgency we played with. We seemed content with a draw. Like, we didn't even try to pass through the team in the first half. Like, I heard, we're going to start out in a 4-3-3. If that doesn't work, we'll switch to, just kick and run, high school ball, But no, we didn't even try to outplay them. And I feel like it would have worked. We were doing pretty well in the second half. So that was pretty disappointing. And the players just played kind of scared. Like I don't call this team soft. I think that's a bad take. But whether it's just scared of getting injured, not being told to not do too much with the ball by the coach, whatever it was, it just looked like we were playing afraid this game. So yeah, it was disappointing. I think we did get a little bit of information on the players. I liked Cameron Carter-Vickers on the ball. He had a couple of pretty nice passes where he's just able to get somebody throwing a long ball. It wasn't anything special or anything, but I liked that he was trying it. He had some great moments in 1v1 defending. Again, this is a really low level, so you can't take too much from that, but he was still doing well. Not the best at defending crosses, but he was doing well with headers and long balls. He really has to get out of the habit of heading crosses out for corner kicks, but that might be better than what a couple of our center backs do, where they just head it straight back to the opposition. So I'll take that over doing it to the opposition, but not great there. Aaron Long, he was worse on the ball. He had similar struggles with crosses throughout this window. Worst 1v1 defender. I really think he's lost his step of pace, which as expected after you'd have one of those injuries. But I think after this, Cameron Carter-Vickers has surpassed him, in my opinion. He would look like the better player. I'm honestly not even sure who wins a foot race between them. It probably would have been Aaron Long a couple years ago. I'm not even sure now. But I liked Cameron Carter-Vickers more this window. I think it's okay to disagree because we have kept clean sheets for the most part. But hey, that's my opinion, and I think a lot of us would agree with that. And I think Cameron Carter-Vickers is just the better player anyway. We know that. Next, for other players, I liked Haji Wright today. He was good in the air, making good runs, getting involved. Could have put that chance away. I guess it was pretty tough. He had to get on his left foot. I'd like him to, but he had to beat a defender to get into that position anyway. It's not like the chances that Ferreira was missing. But I liked his performance today, to be honest. He was doing things that we need a striker to do in this type of game. He was actively getting involved, whether that was with his runs, winning balls in the air, or whatever it was. Honestly, I was more impressed by this than Ferreira's 4-goal game, which sounds weird to say, but I thought that he did very well today. I don't even think he really should have scored, but good job there. Next, we have two midfielders and two very good performances by Brenden, Aaronson, and Yunus Musah. Aaronson looked good in his role with Christian Pulisic, him playing the wing and Pulisic playing a 10-ish role, kind of just a left striker. But Aaronson was looking good, really pressing hard. He was playing with a lot of heart, and which I don't like going, he's got that dog in him, but it was this type of game. That's all you can really take away, but he was looking good. Yunus Musah, similar to that, played with a lot of heart, did very well. He was kind of playing hero ball, which I don't like players to do, but in this game, it was kind of necessary. So it's kind of weird if, is that a positive or a negative? Because he was doing something that I wouldn't recommend, but the situation kind of called for it. I'd consider that a positive, and I really like this performance out of Musah, but I could see another argument, but honestly, going against this coach's wishes is probably in our best interest. That's it for players who I really liked the performances of. You had Christian Pulisic and Tim Weah. They were kind of invisible today. I don't really blame them. That's kind of the conditions. Tyler Adams had kind of a typical performance of him. He was playing pretty well this window before that. I was kind of expecting more, but he can't really do too much with these conditions. And Jedi Robinson, typical performance for him. The bad players, Ethan Horvath made a pretty bad mistake. I can see the argument that it's only one thing, but his position right now is the backup goalkeeper. You have to be ready to come in, be prepared, and make saves like that. And it looked like he wasn't ready, which that's a big indictment on him because he's not going to be the starter. He's not going to overtake Turner. He's not going to overtake Stefan. And if he keeps doing stuff like that, and Sean Johnson had a good performance, Ethan Horvath did nothing special with his feet, he's not going to make this team. And I can't be mad at it if Sean Johnson has overpassed him in the depth chart because he deserves it. I still think Ethan Horvath's a better player, but he actually has to play, and he's not playing right now. And lastly, Reggie Cannon. I have no idea how Joe Scally went up in my depth chart after having a pretty bad performance, but it happened. Cannon, he wasn't even good defensively. He was getting burnt all the time. He offers nothing going forward. I know he's used to that right-sided center back role, but we don't really play that. Even when we do try to play off balance, we end up attacking through our fullbacks. It's a part of our game for better or for worse. And Reggie Cannon, he hasn't looked good. I want him to be good because I think he's better than Yedlin. I can see the potential with his athleticism and his defensive ability, but it hasn't translated. It's similar to Mark McKenzie last summer. I really want him to do well because you see the potential, but it's not happening. And I don't think Reggie Cannon can see the field in a World Cup. It was just really bad. Scally had a bad game, and he was probably our second best fullback this window. How does that happen? I wasn't even impressed by Jedi, but at least he was passable. Yedlin was trash. Cannon was trash. Bello didn't take his opportunity. And Scally, he wasn't good either. I think he was typical for a fullback who's making his debut. We've seen bad performances like that, so I'm not going to be too hard on him, but he wasn't good. But I think he's our number 3 fullback on the depth chart, which is really weird. Yeah, that's it for the starters. Substitutes, Hayes Ferreira had a bit of a typical performance, missing a chances, but he had a good one too with Musah. He might have been offsides, I couldn't really tell. But he kind of ran around a bit. He's kind of I don't know, I don't want to say this in a mean way, but he's kind of like a banter striker where he's not going to score, but he does everything else right. You're like, oh, he's running really hard. I don't know, an example is Wilbraham from a while ago when he was really old, kind of like a Christian Benteke, oh, he's not scoring right now, but hey, he'll run around, and it's like Josh Sargent. And I have seen Josh Sargent's talent. I think I'd rather have him in the team than Hayes Ferreira. That's my opinion. I really haven't been impressed by him this window, which, again, weird because of the 4-goal game, but I don't think he took his chance. That's my opinion. I think Ricardo Pepi takes that spot back. I think if Josh Sargent hits form, he gets in ahead of him, and I really liked Haji Wright's performance more than Hayes Ferreira, which is weird, but hey. Weston McKennie had a couple of good moments, but he shouldn't be playing. He's still coming back from injury. Arriola, he's actually trash. I'm not even going to say he's trash for this level. He's not a good enough soccer player, and he should never be back. He should have never came back after the Trinidad game. But, yeah, hopefully he never plays in this shirt again. Jordan Morris got a goal. I don't think that changes my opinion on him. It puts him above Paul Arriola on the depth chart, which is something, but he's still behind Nicholas Giucchini. He's still behind Matthew Hoppe. He's still behind Conrad de la Fuente. He's still behind Josh Sargent in that position. I don't think he should be in this team, but good goal. I'd love if that's a good send-off for him. I heard Nations League top ever scorer. That's good for him. That's a good send-off. I like him. It's sad that he got injured all the time, but we have to be honest with what type of player he is. Luca de Torre got an assist. It's kind of a weird play. It's good to see that he can come on and impact game. Him having end product has been a bit of an issue, but we got to keep in mind the opposition. This team is worse than any team we're going to be playing at the World Cup, so it's cool that he came on against Grenada, got an assist. It's cool that he came on against El Salvador, got an assist, but I'd like to see him really show out in this type of role against a higher level of opposition, prove that he can make goals happen against a real team, and let's see. But this is definitely positive, but keep context that this is still a trash team that we're playing, a trash team that was down to 10 men. And man, it sucks for him because two of our only good performers were Aaronson and Musah, who are directly in this competition for positions. That's all we have to talk about for this game, though. Would have been really nice to have John Brooks for this game, just throwing that out there. His passing would have been a huge benefit for us. And he's always played well in CONCACAF. Like, he was in the team of the tournament for the CONCACAF Nations League. Like, I saw somebody saying, when's the last time John Brooks had a good performance? Well, when he was in the team of the tournament for the CONCACAF Nations League, and he was carried us against Honduras, setting up the game-winning goal, was really good against Mexico. He needs to be back in the team. Like, he's better than Walker Zimmerman at everything he does. Put him alongside Chris Richards. I feel like we really have something. His problem's always been that he kind of overlooks games. He kind of coasts through performances. But the good thing is we'll be playing at the World Cup. You know, when somebody... Like, I think it is a bad thing when a player lowers his level of play due to the composition. But it's the World Cup. He's going to raise his level of play. We got to acknowledge that. But, yeah, that's all we have to talk about. Pretty bad game. Can't believe I stayed up for this. And yeah, that's all I'll talk about. See ya.